Who has time? Who has time? But then if we do not ever take time, how can we ever have time?
They'll never let you be free. You and I and all of us are slaves on this prison planet. You are a slave. They will find a way to ensure you will never have spare time to think. If you and everyone else had free time, you would all realize you are slaves. You are property. They have all of humanity on Earth enslaved. You are not free. You work for them. Your rights are an illusion. You are conquered. You've been under the illusion that you had a form of freedom and freedom of choice, but that is because you've had to attend your 40-hour work week and were unable to figure out that the controllers just altered their visible form of control to a hidden form of control. In 1948, George Orwell wrote in his book 1984 that the technology exists so that no man should ever have to work ever again, but instead this will create an inflation on productivity. In fact, that section may be one of the most important things for humans to read if they would like to understand how free they should be. It is being suppressed to the masses and enjoyed by a very small few. They are a breakaway civilization enjoying all of the benefits that should be available to all. The first step is to get the masses demanding useful technology that can liberate them from having to attend a 40-hour work week. More free time should be the activists' plea. Demand that abundance be announced. People have not needed to have a job since at least the year 1948. They keep us all busy so we don't figure out what is going on. They invented time, they invented money, they invented the paycheck, and then they invented taxes to take all of the money back. You pay for your food. You pay your taxes. You pay to have a vehicle to go work at your job. You pay for the gasoline. You pay for the repairs on the vehicle that they intentionally built to break down. You pay until all of the money you earned is gone. They will take over the water supply and oxygen supply and charge you for water and oxygen.
The true terrorists of our world do not meet at the docks at midnight or scream Allah Akbar for some violent action. The true terrorists of our world wear $5,000 suits and work in the highest positions of finance, government, business. Sustainability and abundance will never ever occur in a profit system. Therefore, it is impossible to have a world without war or poverty.
After the United States Congress had access to the data from the Stanford Research Institute and from universities all over the country and all over the world, they were terrified of what would happen if we all developed the powers of our minds. It was clear that we could remote view, we could see into the future and into the past, we could find, missing airplanes and anything you can imagine with our minds. And they actually did a smear campaign with the media to discredit what they had discovered, because they didn't want us to know how powerful our minds really are.
I really haven't seen this many people in one place since they took the group photographs of all the criminals and lawbreakers in the Ronald Reagan administration. Yeah, 225 of them so far. 225 different people in the Ronald Reagan administration have either quit, been fired, been arrested, indicted, or convicted of either breaking the law or violating the ethics code. 225 of them. See, that's what you got to remember. This is the Ronald Reagan administration we're talking about. These are the law and order people. These are the people who are against street crime. They want to put street criminals in jail to make life safer for the business criminals. Yeah, they're against street crime, providing that street isn't Wall Street. Well, if we'd have known this shit 7 or 8 years ago, we could have put a bunch of these Republican motherfuckers directly into prison. Yeah. Put them in the joint where they belong, and we could have saved the money of putting these country club pin-headed assholes on trial. Organized religion and organized crime working together to help build a better America. Yeah, but they still want to tell you what magazines you can read, and they still want to tell you what rock lyrics you can listen to, and they still want to force your kids to pray in school, and they still want to tell you what you can say on the radio. The FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, decided all by itself that radio and television were the only two parts of American life not protected by the free speech provisions of the First Amendment to the Constitution. I'd like to repeat that because it sounds vaguely important. The FCC, an appointed body, not elected, answerable only to the president, decided on its own that radio and television were the only two parts of American life not protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution. Why did they decide that? Because they got a letter from a minister in Mississippi. A Reverend Donald Wildman in Mississippi heard something on the radio that he didn't like. Well, Reverend, did anyone ever tell you there are two knobs on the radio? Knob on the radio. Of course, I'm sure the Reverend isn't that comfortable with anything that has two knobs on it. It's called freedom of choice, and it's one of the principles this country was founded upon. Look it up in the library, Reverend, if you have any of it left when you finish burning all the books. Now, I don't know how you feel, but I have personally just about had it with these fucking church people. Just about. You know what I say we should do with these churches? Tax them. Tax these motherfuckers. If they're so interested in politics and government and public policy, let them pay their fucking admission price like everybody else. You know what I mean? Tax them.